Hi there, everybody. I'm Bennett Ferguson. Switching it up a little bit. It's about I'm gonna say like 1:30 in the morning. Thereabouts, and I'm in a very different location. I'm still at the house, but I'm just in a different room. I'm in my living room, recording this because I don't want to go upstairs to record. So this is handheld. So I'll be switching hands, and my thumb might get in the way. I'm sorry. Actually, maybe this works. Hang on. Ooh, look at that. Okay. And this is episode 8 of 32 of my 32-part series on the NFL. First off, before we really get started, there's a couple things I want to mention. So this is coming out on Monday, the 15th of June? 16th, 15th of June. 15th. I'm going to go with 15th, and if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. But this is when today was announced that Ezekiel Elliott has been diagnosed with coronavirus. We wish him the best. We hope he recovers very soon. Because that's, as much as I could say I hate the Cowboys, you don't wish the coronavirus on anybody because it could seriously be something that ends their life, and that can hurt them. It's not made up. It's serious. So, with that being said, we wish him well. We hope that no one else in the organization gets it, and we hope they're easily they can easily recover if they do. Number 2, it came out today that Brandon Brooks, the offensive guard for the Philadelphia Eagles, has injured himself and is out for the season. It might be I think it's either an Achilles tear or something like that. But he injured himself, which is a big blow to that O-line. The Eagles were my very first video I ever did on the NFL. So, of course, now I go through the entire offensive line. I go through everything. But back then, first video, I really didn't even touch the O-line. I mentioned Lane Johnson. But their O-line is great with Kelsey. Brooks was solid. Somalio, I think that's his name, on the left side. He wasn't terrible. But now there's a giant hole missing at the right guard spot, which is why I'm bringing up the fact that I think Prince Tanga Wanogo, I think that's how they pronounce his name, could fill in at guard. He's big. He's a beefy boy. But he could definitely learn the guard spot, especially if he wants to stay on that team, because I don't see Dillard going anywhere anytime soon, or Lane Johnson. So if he really wants to make an impact, he'll step up and learn that position. But this is not about the Eagles today. This is about the Pittsburgh Steelers. I told y'all I would figure out who that was. Who that player was, Mike Allstott, I was correct, was the fullback for the Bucks during their Super Bowl run. He was up for the Hall this year. That I always come in clutch for y'all if I forget something. So we're going right into the Pittsburgh Steelers. First off, my first talking point is Big Ben going to be healthy enough? Because if he is, that's their key to success. Last year we got to see Delvin Hodges and Mason Rudolph come in and start, and both of them were terrible. Mason Rudolph, I'm pretty sure, started playing better after he got a concussion. He showed glimpses of potential, but he was really lacking in a lot of areas. He's not a very good deep ball thrower. He's great. He's sort of like Baker Mayfield in that sense, except less mobile. He's more of a pocket passer, like Big Ben is. But at the same time, Delvin Hodges is a scrambler, but he's also a deep threat. But he's very inaccurate when he's throwing. He needs to harness his skills a little bit better, and he would be a lot better. As you can tell, I'm like rings under my eyes, tired, but I just can't go to sleep. But Big Ben, he's going to be their key to success this year. If he stays healthy, if he's doing good, he will definitely help them win some big games. I don't know if y'all follow James Conner on Instagram. This is insane because he bulked up. He looks like the Incredible Hulk right now. He's turned from an elusive back, which has some pass catching capabilities and some power moves, to just being a power back. So Ezekiel Elliott is who James Conner reminds me of right now. Eddie Lacy when he was in his prime. Adrian Peterson when he was in his prime, unstoppable. James Conner in that backfield. You also have Jalen Samuels, who's a great receiving threat, who can also play some quarterback if they need him to. So he's going to be very good in that situation. Jalen Samuels, I think, is going to step it up this year. I do want to mention, because they have a pretty good fullback, Derek Watt, J.J. Watt's younger brother. Great fullback. Played for the Chargers for most of his career, but now he's linked up with his older, or maybe same age or younger brother. So they're going to be blowing up the league this year, hopefully. Next, we go to wide receivers. We get Juju Smith-Schuster. Overrated. I mean, honestly, great rookie season, but that's because Antonio Brown was on there. Now that he's the lead receiver, he's definitely not living up to the hype. You got Deion Kane. You got Chase Claypool, great draft pick. Deontay Johnson, awesome. James Washington, Ryan Switzer. Not a bad wide receiver core. Tight ends, you get Eric Ebron and Vance McDonald, a great blocking tight end, and Eric Ebron, a great pass catcher, and Vance McDonald. Well, I guess you could also say Eric Ebron is a great pass catcher, because he is. But he definitely has stepped up a little bit from his time with the Colts. Ooh, my bad. Now we move on to their O-line. Their O-line, we're going to start with Marquise Pouncey, a brother of... You know, I'm not even going to I'll get into him later when we cover the Chargers. But Mark Pouncey, good center, solid center. Got in some trouble in the past, but he's a very solid person. We go to the right guard, probably one of the best in the business, David DeCastro. Him and Zach Martin right there together, and being that elite. Marshall Yanda, when he played, that elite. Right tackle Matt Filer just re-signed his contract. If not, they got the big guy, Zach Banner. I love Zach Banner. I can watch him play all day. He's their switch tackle that they bring in to have an extra lineman on the field during goal line formation. So that's Zach Banner's role. Then we pop over to the left side of the line. We've got Alejandro Villanueva at left tackle, former service member for the Armed Forces, turned pro football player. He's a great left tackle, getting up there in age. That's the problem, is their O-line is getting up there. They're not young anymore. But Alejandro, probably 3 more solid years before he starts to truly decline. And then at left guard, we have a new guy, Kevin Dotson, wearing that number 69. I feel he reminds me a lot of DeMar Dotson. Same last name, but same play style. Same number, too. But Kevin Dotson looks like he's going to be a beast on that O-line. Highly underrated coming out of college. And I think he's going to prove a lot of people wrong. Next, we go to their defense. I know this might hit 10 minutes. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm speaking fast. Why are you... My cats are conspiring against me. Okay, defensive line, we get Chris Wormley at defensive end, Isaiah Buggs at defensive end, Tyson Alualu at defensive end, Stephon Tuitt, and Cameron Hayward at defensive tackle. Those 1, 2, 3, 4, those 5, they're pretty good. Tuitt and Hayward definitely the best out of the bunch. You got Alualu, who looks like he's actually improved a lot. Isaiah Buggs, great pickup, and Wormley, a great trade piece from the, or was it trade or was it? They either traded for him or they signed him. They traded for him, great trade piece. If they signed him, great free agent pickup from the Ravens. Then we go to their linebacking situation, and I guess you could consider Bud Dupree and TJ both edge rushers, but TJ Watt, Bud Dupree, and in the middle you got Vince Williams. Pretty sure he's the guy whose name is Vincenzo. Vince Williams and Devin Bush holding down that middle. Great linebacking core. I would say, if they really wanted to make it elite, they trade Bud Dupree to the Saints. So we trade them to Demario Davis. Demario Davis is better than Bud Dupree. That would be like, besides Vince Williams, those 3 best linebacking core in the NFL that they would be. um, they would be scary. They'd be like if you had Ray Lewis on your team, and you had Brian Urlacher, and then you had those two. I mean, that would pretty much make up for anything. You just have two enforcers on your team. But you got TJ, who's an enforcer, and you got Devin Bush, who's a quarterback's worst nightmare. So you got something there. And Bud Dupree, I mean, slept on him a lot last year, but he really showed he can hit the quarterback. And it's easier to hit the quarterback when you have TJ Watt trying to rush on the other side, because if he's not getting to the quarterback, you are. We go to the corner with a C. I don't know. You get Joe Hayden. Overrated and not very good, but he's still a good cornerback, number one. You get Mike Hilton, who should be cornerback number one. He's better than Joe. And then you get Steve Nelson. Definitely good solid three right there. Then you have probably the best free safety in the NFL with Minkah Fitzpatrick. And you got Terrell Edmonds, who's not as good as his brother's being, Tremaine, but he's definitely holding down that strong safety spot because he works for it. Punter. Why am I doing their punters? I think I still have Jordan Berry from, I don't even know where he's from, but I still pretty sure they have Jordan Berry, and a kicker they still have Boswell. And Boswell, he's okay, but again, they could bring in someone else if they really needed to and get pretty much the same effect. Well, I mean, honestly, I want to bring up something, and I promise y'all, I'm not gonna get political, but I really do hope that the NFL season starts. I know they probably won't get to have fans at all this season. It'll be like Melvin Gordon said, like every Chargers game. But I really do. I hope we get started. I hope there's ways to make it so that way they are able to go into practice without wearing masks all the time, and that they're able to sort of go back to normal, because that's the whole point, is to get this back normal. I know MLB might not even have a season, and that's rough. I know NHL might not have a season. I know NBA is hoping to come back, but I hope NFL is able to come back strong. There's a lot of players out there who should be signed recently, who should be getting signed, and it's weird because, I mean, I guess I look at it not from a viewpoint of what they do off the field. It's more of a talent standpoint. Cam Newton should be on the team right now. Is he a drama queen? Yes, he is. He will eat up that media attention. And is he a cancer to have in the locker room? Well, maybe that's why they cut him. It's because he was a bad teammate. And people are telling their coaches, hey, don't sign Cam. He's not a very good teammate. And they don't want to have that in the locker room, especially if he's not starting, which it seems right now every single quarterback in the NFL that's starting deserves to start, except for maybe Drew Lock. But Drew Lock, I mean, he's their prototypical quarterback in Denver. Other players, I'm pretty sure the Ravens just cut Ryan from I think he played for the Jaguars, Logan Ryan or something like that. I think he was a linebacker. I might be wrong on his first name, but I think his last name is Ryan. He's a great linebacker. I wish the Saints would sign him. I wish a team who needs a linebacker would sign him. But I understand cap space and things like that have to be in effect. Jason Peters, he should be on a team right now. He's a great veteran. Injury problems, but then again, you get him on a team where he won't start, but he could come in and if a player gets injured, he's perfect. I mean, as long as you're not giving him guaranteed money for getting injured again, which is maybe why he's not getting. Jadeveon Clowney, overrated, way overhyped for a #1 pick, but definitely somebody who can still get to the quarterback with a lot more proficiency. And I would, if I was any NFL team right now, any of them, I'd sign him. Take him. Put him back on your team. Texans, put him back on your team. You have J.J. Watt. You have Jadeveon Clowney. Best pass rushing duo in the NFL. I mean, Cameron Jordan, Jadeveon Clowney. There would be no one who could stop him. You know, you get Miles. That's the Browns are looking at signing him. You get Myles Garrett and you get Jadeveon Clowney. You have a problem. But then again, you know, he's asking for a ton of money. Colin Kaepernick, and this is the one where everyone starts getting a little nervous when someone mentions him. Here's my rationale thinking about it. If he is good enough to be better than a backup quarterback in the NFL, then why isn't he on a team? Doesn't matter about what he said off the field. Doesn't matter when he did on the field before the game. Doesn't matter. If a player can play, let him play. Now, there's certain instances where I will make fun of, Michael Vick for his dogfighting stuff, but that's because I don't have respect for people who treat animals like that. And that's something personal. But he was still a great quarterback. I mean, all those people who get in trouble for PEDs, that's a great laugh to have. I mean, but it's still a bad thing. Colin Kaepernick, regardless if you think what he did on the field was bad, on the field before the game was bad or not, because some people think, that you shouldn't do that, and that's okay. You can think that. I think it was okay that he did that. I think if that was what he was hypothetically standing up for, then that's what he should have done. And I still think he should be on a team right now. I think he should not be getting paid starter money, but definitely be getting paid. If Ryan Fitzpatrick is making that much and he's going to be on the bench, why isn't Kaepernick making that much by being on the bench? They signed Blaine Gabbert before they signed Colin Kaepernick. They signed, people will sign crazy quarterbacks like Trevor Siemian and Brock Osweiler before they'll even look at Cap. And Colin Kaepernick, he's ready. He looks like he's ready. So put him in. Light him up. Let him play. Get him some reps. I guarantee you he probably has really refined his throwing. And I think the Redskins are going to end up looking at him. Because the Redskins currently have Dwayne Haskins. And that's it. I mean, Dwayne Haskins and Kyle Allen. And that's not a good starting two. So they definitely will probably look at Colin. I hope he gets signed. Those are some big free agents. Next, I don't know if I said this in a different video, but I'm probably going to change it anyway. But now I'm cementing it in stone, or in cement, I guess. We're going to go to the NFC South. We're going to be covering the Saints and all those lovely teams next. So, in the meantime, this is a 1:30 in the morning video. Sorry for the quality. Sorry for the blurriness and ramblingness. But I'm Bennett Ferguson, and thank you for watching.